Whether Real Tyler's back with the last WrestleMania review in 32. I was supposed to do this last night, but it got it got extremely late, so I was like, I'll wait till tomorrow to do it. But yeah, um, this was a hit and miss WrestleMania, honestly, and but it was not as bad as 33. Let's just be honest here, but yeah. Anyways, April 3rd at AT&T Stadium in, well, they pronounce it Dallas, Texas, so I'll just say that. And I'll get to the attendance, like, when we get to the rock part for it. But anyways, this was the end of the authority angle. Thank God for that. And yeah, and it's like April, May, June, 4 months before the second branch play came back, and uh and yeah, well, like, for my next SummerSlam reviews, 2016 will be on that list. So yeah, but yeah, let's uh let's talk. But there's like, but this was the first of 33, 4 WrestleManias to be 5 hours, and then by now we have 2 nights of WrestleMania. I don't know about that. So yeah, um. Anyways, so enough bull crapping. Let's get to this show. We start off with a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. For the second year in a row, the IC Championship opened up WrestleMania with a ladder match. It's like 31, but I don't think it was as good as that. I don't think it was as good as that one from uh WrestleMania 31. But let's just be honest. Zack Ryder defeats Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Sami Zayn, Sin Cara, and Stardust. Fuck Sami Zayn. Yeah, honestly, I thought The Miz should have won this ladder match, but he won the title the next month, the next night. What the hell am I talking about? The next night on Raw. So yeah, that was like, okay, Zack Ryder wins, but he had it for a day, and yeah, I don't think anybody expected that, but yeah, this was a good ladder match, but again, it was not as great as the last year's ones, but I only give it a 7. Yeah. And then this is one of the few wrong decisions from this WrestleMania. Chris Jericho defeats AJ Styles. AJ should have won. He's going after the WWE Championship, like, literally the next pay per view. So why did I have him beat Jericho? You know, but. And also, this was Jericho's first WrestleMania match since 29, which we'll save that one for next year. But yeah, this was when Jericho turned heel again. I think the reason, I don't know why, but I don't know why they have Jericho win here, because he was a heel again, but he was not going after the WWE Championship. AJ Styles was, but whatever. I mean, this was it was a good match, but the wrong person won, I think. I give it an 8. It was a good match, but Styles should have won this, honestly. But yeah. Anyways, then we have a piss break. like every WrestleMania, it has to have a piss break. The League of Nations, yeah, remember that group? Me neither. Of Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, and Rusev with King Barrett before he was released. Defeats the New Day. Honestly, the New Day should have won this. But yeah, this was just the tag titles were not even on the line on this, so I was like, well, they're gonna lose. Just a filler match. I only got a 3. And then after this, well, there's Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, who come down to the and beat up that lame group, and Rusev stole Rusev stole the stutter really good, and his same as Xavier Woods, but yeah. And then we have one of the two biggest disappointments of this show, a no-holds-barred street fight. Brock Lesnar defeats Dean Ambrose. This was a disappointment. I mean, the feud, it was on my worst rivalries list like 3 years ago. I think I forgot about that, but yeah. I mean, this was technically not really a rivalry, but I just counted it as, but I mean, Ambrose was given weapons like, a chainsaw and a barbed wire bat, or what was also like to call it Barbie, but those weapons were not even used in this match. All I remember from this match was Brock hitting a bunch of suplexes, chairs, and kendo sticks were used, and a laptop. And that was basically it. And Brock hit him with an F5 on a bunch of chairs, and I think Ambrose mentioned it, or Moxley, whatever you want to call him, and said that Brock didn't want to do anything in this match. This was proof by Brock Lesnar so lazy. I just give it a 4, just because. I'm only giving it a 4 because at least they did not have Dean Ambrose get squashed like a bug, like from Brock Lesnar, and then he had and Brock had a bad match with Randy Orton at SummerSlam, and then he got destroyed by the returning Goldberg at Survivor Series. But yeah. Okay, now we get to the best match on this show, and this was to get rid of that stupid Divas chip. Well, when we move on to 2008, where we continue with it, where I think the Great American Bash would be where that belt get introduced, and Lita on the pre-show, or the kickoff, said the winner will become the inaugural women's championship. This is what happened, and I gotta say, this was the best match on this show, with Charlotte defeating Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, and to be honest, I think Charlotte should have been the first person to hold the revamped women's championship, because yeah, she made Becky tap, and this was before they renamed it the Raw Women's Championship, and then because, like I said, the second bracelet came like 4 months after this, so yeah. There was one nitpick about the Charlotte Sasha feud, because they kept hot potatoing the title, so yeah. But yeah, there was this was like, I think the first time Charlotte ever done a moonsault from the top rope from both opponents, but later, I think one of the two couldn't get there in the way, but whatever. I give it an 8 point. No, I actually give it a 9 actually. So yeah, yeah. This was a great match. Anyway, so then we get a Hell in a Cell match, the third Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. And the first of 4 Hell in a Cell matches from 2016. That record we broke it 5 years later, last year technically, with 5. They overkilled the Hell in a Cell concept. Anyways, and this was a stipulation: if Shane wins, Undertaker will no longer compete at WrestleMania. Well, and this was during the whole storyline where Shane wants control of Monday Night Raw, which that happened the next night, and but the Undertaker defeats Shane McMahon. This match was not bad. It was actually a decent Hell in a Cell match, I thought. Of course, Shane climbs up the top of the cell and does that elbow drop, and he missed the Undertaker, and yeah, this was not that bad of a Hell in a Cell match. I give this a 6 out of 10. It was a decent Hell in a Cell match, but yeah, Undertaker was gonna win this, and then the next year he faced Roman Reigns, and you already know about that match. Anyways, and this is when the show drastically goes down, because then we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Yeah. It's a match that let's get everybody on the card. So yeah, you know guys like Big Show who won this, when Mark Henry Kane, Tatanka was in this match, DDP was in this match, Shaq was in this match, and Baron Corbin was in this match. This was before he was a fucking constable, and before he was a king, and before he became Happy Corbin. So yeah, he last eliminated Kane. Another piss break. This was before he was again a constable and a king and a happy guy. This was his lone wolf persona, so yeah. I only give it a 5 because of the fresher guy won. And this is his call-up also. Okay, now here when the show took on the 5th hour of the show. So the Dallas Cowboys, these cheerleaders, they do their dancing. And then The Rock comes out and then announced the attendance record. What was that attendance record again? I know it's like, let's see. Oh yeah, 101,763 disputed. But okay, if you want, let's just leave it that way. And then he was going to announce something. And then the Wyatt family comes out, and Luke Harper by this point was injured at this point, but he would come back like at No Mercy. Yeah, No Mercy 2016. Yeah, that's and then The Rock wants to wrestle one, and then he goes into wrestling gear. Going into wrestling gear. Yeah, I just made another Dave fan reference right there. Yeah, this match with The Rock and Eric Rowan lasted 6 seconds. Yeah, 6 seconds, and The Rock wins. But wait. Not done yet. John Cena comes in and even up the odds. And yeah, Braun Strowman was in this group. This was before his big singles push, when he got drafted to Raw, and 4 months after this. And yeah, this was just when the show went downhill, and then we get the main event for the WWE Championship. Yeah, I know it's called the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but I'm just going to call it the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns defeats Triple H. So Roman Reigns is a 3-time WWE champion. And the boost he got. And how much pyro did they give Roman Reigns? I mean, this match was like... It was like the Brock and Ambrose match. It was just a disappointment. I'm going into the 4.5 because Roman speared Stephanie. That's the second time Stephanie got hit by a man's finisher. WrestleMania 18 ring a bell? Where she got penetrated by Triple H? Yeah, Roman wins the WWE Championship and yeah, he wins for the third time, and he had a feud with AJ Styles, and then he feuded with Seth Rollins, which is kind of ironic. I'm wearing this shirt. Yeah, this was like one of my birthday gifts, so yeah. I get a 4.5 because, yeah. And that insane entrance by Triple H, but yeah. So, overall, WrestleMania 32 was okay. It's not that 33. Or, yeah, 33. I only give this a 6 out of 10. Because, yeah. And that's it for the WrestleMania reviews for 2022. And I'll be back in my 2008 year review with Backlash and Sacrifice. Back to the 2008 year review. So, yeah. Bye.